everyone, I am your astrologer, Wonder Girl, taking you to new heights. Here's your daily forecast for the day of Friday, February 2nd, 2018. Now, what's going on today is that we've got the moon still here hanging out in Virgo, bringing our attention, of course, to our job, to our daily routines, to what we do on the day-to-day. And of course, with Virgo, you also get a lot of work, putting in a lot of work in strategy, planning, thinking about the future, and just processing what's going on in your life. Okay, so I think that's what is going on today. Okay, now what was happening here at the end of yesterday and into today is that the moon was then in Virgo here in a trine to Saturn in Capricorn. At the same time, it was in a square over here to Mars in Sagittarius. So I think what that means, especially with the trine to Saturn, is that we were trying to process here and understand better where our life is going, what kind of life it is that we want, what kind of career, social standing, or reputation in some way. I think we were trying to process all of this information about our life to try to figure out how we can put our life in a better place. I think we were trying to come up with a plan to create a better future for ourselves and just put in the work to making some big things happen for us that are really, really important to us. Okay, as we're doing all of that, trying to plan for the future, process our life, and trying to put in the work to make some things happen, I think it could have been a little bit difficult in some ways. That's because with the square here to Mars coming in, there's something new that we're doing, something exciting perhaps as well that's going on that we have not done before. That can make it a little bit hard for us to understand where our life is going, to make sense of our life in the way that we want to make sense of it here. And to organize everything so that we can start to build on it and to make a plan moving forward, okay? And I think it was like a weird thing at the end of yesterday into today, us trying to make progress here and trying to work towards something that's important to us, organize and plan for the future here, but maybe not being quite sure how to do it in some way, or just having a lot of passions that was making it hard for us here to figure out how to move forward on our next steps. Okay, so that's what I think was coming in there. Then this morning, the first aspect of the day at 8 a.m., the moon then moves further through Virgo and makes an opposition over here to Neptune at 12 degrees in Pisces. So as we're over here trying to put a plan in place, trying to understand our life, make sense of things that are going on, even if it is a little bit difficult because of all the excitement we've got in our life and some new things happening, there could be some confusion that does come in at 8 a.m. With the Neptune aspect here, maybe trying to make a plan to work and to do things, but feeling like, you know what, it doesn't feel quite right to me on the inside as I'm making this plan, as I'm moving forward. So there could be some kind of confusion that comes in about what you need here to feel comfortable in life. Okay, with Neptune coming in as well, it always brings up issues from your past that come back. Maybe trying to figure out how to make sense of your past so that you can move forward and feel better about where your life is going. So there could be just some inner stuff that maybe we have to deal with here at 8 a.m. in the morning as we're trying to work, get a plan in place, and do things we need to do. Okay, the way to always deal with Neptune, though, is to not force things if they aren't working, but to pay attention to your inner self, to honor what you're thinking, what you're feeling on the inside too. Of course, always with Neptune as well, if your plans aren't working in quite the way that you hope they would work, or if it's really hard for you to put a strategy in place, also with Neptune coming in, good to be intuitive here, good to listen to your spirit, even if it doesn't make sense logically. Sometimes coming in with Neptune as well, that could be a good thing to do at 8 a.m. in the morning if you're feeling like, you know what, this just isn't working, or it's really hard to plan. Maybe just take a break here to pay attention to yourself, to honor your inner needs here, and to listen intuitively and creatively to what it is you need to do next. Okay, it could also be lots of creativity, right, that comes in with Neptune at 8 a.m. Okay, and that's pretty much just going to stay for the whole day here with us really trying to get right with ourselves internally as we make some plan for the future and try to move forward on some things that are important to us here. Yeah, just needing to pay attention to your emotions that are going on, needing to be intuitive and creative the whole day in order to feel better, okay? Then at the nighttime at 8 p.m., so that's what, a whole 12 hours where the moon's not going to be doing much. The moon then comes into a trine over here with Pluto, also in Capricorn. So I think if you've been most of the day here trying to stay the course, trying to process your life, okay, and not getting too stressed if things aren't going the way you want them to go. I think there could be more opportunity here at the nighttime with the trine to Pluto to start to maybe understand better where you want your life to go, to maybe make more sense of your career in some way, or to even maybe change where you thought your life was going to accommodate some of these things that came up at the lunar eclipse, and some of these things that you're starting to understand more as you put a plan in place, okay? It's almost like you're starting to line everything up, figure out how your life is going to go as things are falling into place, and you're realizing that as you're trying to put all the puzzle pieces together that the picture isn't quite what you thought it was going to be, and having to make some more adjustments to the overall career direction, overall direction your life is going in here to accommodate all of the things that have happened to you, and so all the pieces in the puzzle can line up just right coming in, okay? So maybe that's what's going on here at the nighttime, is you're realizing, you know what, I thought my life was going in one direction, but now that I'm actually thinking about it, trying to figure it out, maybe I need to make some tweaks here to where I thought my life was going, so that I can incorporate some other things and make sure I'm building on my life in the right way. Okay, so I think that's what's going on there. It could be very powerful with the trine to Pluto coming in here. Could definitely, I think, really help you to make some big progress, to understand better where your life is going, even to get more clarity in some ways on what it is that you really want deep down, on the career you want, on the reputation, on the life direction that it is that you want. But you do have to be careful with Pluto too. It could also bring up some fears here, and some insecurities about your life and about what you want to, if you aren't quite sure what that is yet, coming in at the nighttime, okay? But if you can let yourself explore your options here as you're trying to make a plan, and if you let yourself make allowances for perhaps alterations to the plan or things you weren't expecting here to come in to your life, I think it's definitely going to help you towards the nighttime to understand better what you want, how you see your life going, and to maybe make some more changes here to create more of the reputation that you want now that you have more information going on that you may not have had earlier. All right, so that's what happens then. Then after that, at midnight, the moon then makes a sextile over here to Jupiter, again helping you make some more changes here to your life, to your daily routines, and to your job and practical matters, so that you can begin to move forward. It's almost like after you've had all day to sit with your feelings, to sit with your emotions, to process things, that you realize, you know what, I'm gonna have to make some tweaks to the plan. I mean, Virgo's, even though Virgo likes to plan and strategize and is an earth sign, it's still a mutable sign. So Virgo is not afraid to change the plan if this new plan makes more sense than the old plan that you had. And I think that's what's coming in here at the nighttime, is now that you've sat with everything, now that you've tried to move forward, to strategize about your life, and now that more information has come to you, and now that you have checked in with yourself emotionally with the Neptune thing coming in, how else do you need to change your life, change your life direction, and change the plan, change your job, change your daily routines now to match this information, and to feel much more comfortable inside and deep down with everything going on in your life, so that you can move forward, okay? So I think that is what is coming in at the nighttime. All right, I do just want to warn you to be careful though, because tomorrow morning at like 4 o'clock in the morning, the moon is then going to oppose Chiron, okay? So there could be some uncomfortable feelings that do start to come in here very late tonight and into tomorrow morning. It's like right as we're starting to feel better, saying, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna make a few more changes here to the plan to make sure that I'm doing the right thing and this is gonna work out for me. And as maybe you start feeling like you're making some more changes again to create more of a life and a daily routine that really resonates with you, it could start to feel uncomfortable again in the morning, okay? And I just want to warn you with that here to let you know that doesn't mean that what you're doing is wrong. It doesn't mean that you're doing the wrong things. It's just that sometimes when we make big changes and when we uncover what it is that we really want inside, it's a little bit uncomfortable for us because it's something different we have not done before, because more information has come to light, okay, and because we've got an old way of doing things, right, that we're kind of stuck with. And I just want to let you know that there could be some uncomfortable feelings coming in at the nighttime, and to push past those here, to keep making some changes that you need to make to your plan here to put your life in a different or better direction, okay, and to try to overcome some old habits, some old ways of thinking, and some old programming of how you work, so that you really can begin to step into a new life direction that is waiting for you, and in a better life, I like to think. Okay, so that's what's happening there. Other stuff that's going on in the background. Let's see. We have Mars and a sextile with Mercury, almost exact here, coming in, okay? And what that could bring, again, is lots of conversations, of course, when you get Mercury in, and then Mars, like, superpowers these conversations, like extra thoughts, you know, extra talk, overthinking things in a way, even though it's a sextile. So I think this can be very pretty happening. So maybe not overthinking, but more like, yeah, getting insights and the information that you need here about your life. Okay, with Mars and Sag, and with Mercury and Aquarius, some kind of new life direction, envisioning a new life for yourself as you move forward, okay? Really beginning to think about who you are, who you're becoming, the person you want to be here, and beginning to do something new and step into this new person, step into this new life direction here, now that you've been working on doing what you want, doing what makes you happy for so long, okay? So I think that's what's going on. And I think, right, as we're envisioning a new life for ourselves, as we're realizing our life is going in a new or a different direction as well, perhaps that's also driving some of the changes that we're making earlier in the day in our career, in our life direction, in our reputation. It's like we're seeing now, we're starting to envision a different life for ourselves, and having to make some allowances in other parts of our life so that we can let this new vision of our future in, okay? So that could be the thing that's happening. Or maybe it's the opposite that's happening, is that you're realizing as you're putting a plan in place that all the pieces don't add up, and as a result having to think about your life in new or different ways, see a new goal for yourself, see a new dream, see a new future that could be coming in here, okay? But I think a lot of what is going on here is that there's a new life for ourselves that we didn't intend for, maybe we didn't expect would happen, and what we're having to do now is to understand where our life is going, to envision a new life, and to start to step into it and make even more changes here to let ourselves live this new life, even if it isn't what we thought it was going to be, okay? Venus also here in Aquarius, coming into a square to Jupiter, so some more changes in relationships especially, and with money here coming in as you're making a plan for your life, as you're envisioning a new future, maybe as well needing to change the people in your life once again. Change the way you deal with money and the way you work with people, so that you really can begin to have a life that you're more comfortable in, envision a new life, and reach some goals and dreams that I think really kind of interest you and that are unique and interesting, yeah, to you in some way, okay? So that's what I see going on there. Now your card for the day is the 2. It's the 2 of Wands reversed. So this card to me does indicate choices. In a lot of ways, the 2s always do indicate choices to me coming in. Maybe it's hard to make a choice, not sure which choice you want to make. A lot of times with the Wands, there are 2 options, 2 things that maybe you are passionate about in some way, and you don't know which one to do coming in. I think what this card means to me is to envision, you know, it's so funny, I just was talking about a lot of this with Aquarius, but to try to envision your future, to consider all of your options, explore your possibilities of your life, of what your life can be. This is a man in this card, and he's holding the world. He literally has the world in the palm of his hands. And the way that I see it, and the way that I see this solar eclipse, is like your life can be anything you want it to be. What do you want it to be? You know, what are you going to choose coming in here, and how big are you going to dream, or how much are you going to limit yourself? And I think what you need to do today and what can help you decide where you want your life to go is to envision a future for yourself. Conduct little thought experiments. You know, well, what happens if I did X, Y, and Z, okay? Well, what happened if I would do A, B, C? Well, what would happen if I did this option instead? And just try to put the pieces together and line everything up in a row, of course, which Virgo likes to do, to figure out, okay, if I do option A, what is this going to be like? And if I, you know, and I think that's just what you need to do. You need to explore your options and try to figure out and envision your life in each one. And get all of your possibilities. And I think if you start to think more long term, and if you start to envision your life in each of these scenarios, it might make it much easier for you to make the choice you need to make to understand better where your life is going here and to not feel so uneasy about some of the changes that you're making and about some new or different life that it is that you're stepping into, because there's lots of possibilities here, I think, to be the person you wanted to be, to create the life you've always wanted. But you have to pick and you have to choose which one of those options is the most exciting and the most exhilarating to you and is going to make you feel like you're the best version of yourself that you can be. Okay, so that's what I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching my horoscope. If you like it, please like it on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and I will talk to you later.